This is a tutorial on how to create a die, the singular of dice. So the first thing that I'm doing here is I'm going to go up to the rectangle in Google Sketchup, and I'll start at the origin, click once, drag it out a little bit, and if you notice in the bottom right, you've got 44 millimeters and about 71. We want a regular size die, which is a 12 by 12, so I'm typing in 12, 12, hit enter, and I'll zoom in there. The next thing that I need to do is I need to make it three-dimensional. So I'm taking the push-pull button and clicking once, dragging up, and instead of taking my time with it, I can just type in 12 and hit enter. So now I have a 12 by 12 by 12 cube. Now we need to make some magic happen. So next thing that I'll do is I will draw on the die. So using the pencil, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to make the 1. So one simple circle right in the middle. In order to do so, I'm going to need a midpoint of some sort. So I've got my line here, and if I hover over top of it, notice that it kind of sticks here right at the midpoint. So now that I have that, I can change this rectangle to a circle and click once, drag it out a little bit, and my radius will be 1 millimeter. Here we go. So now it's a matter of cleaning it up. So I'm just going to click, and I'll shift click so that way I can select multiple pieces. And I have the one side of my die. But that's not good enough because I need it to be recessed a little bit. So I'm just going to use the push-pull and click down 1 millimeter. Give it some sort of indentation. Now, fun fact about die, they have opposite sides that add up to 7. So at least on a single 6-sided die. So on the other side here, I need for this to be my 6. So the first thing that I'll do is I'm going to draw my midpoint here, and I will cut this midpoint here and connect these midpoints here. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is to give me some sort of frame of reference. What I'm going to be looking to do is to create a way for me to effectively draw some circles. The other thing that I'm going to do, and I don't know if this is necessary or not, but I'm going to go from the end point here to the midpoint, and I'll show you what that's for here in a little bit. I'll do that again. Midpoint. Alright, perfect. Time to draw some circles. So I will take this one here and 1 millimeter. Now here's the benefit of this. So since I have a midpoint, it's actually going to, since I drew the line, the segment rather, from here to here, so the end point to the midpoint, I've got a second midpoint here. So I've actually broken this up into multiple pieces. So I can go from this midpoint, and it does the same thing here. And one here, there, and there. So now it's a matter of cleaning it up, and this will take a little bit of time, but going through and selecting all of the pieces that I no longer need. So if you notice as I'm doing this, the dots on there are symmetrical, and the one thing that they're missing is that recession. So I just need to get these last two pieces. There we go. Next up, pull it down 1 millimeter for each of these. Ooh. And this one's backwards, so there we go. There we go. So let me just spin around, make sure. Oh, let me take push-pull, and we'll actually go down to the -2 is what the bottom says here. That's actually going down 2 units, down 2 millimeters. So back to 0 and then down to -1. So if I rotate it around, we have all of those. Now, instead of ruining it and showing how to do each one of these, I've given you the 1 and the 6. Next up, your opposite sides should be 2 and 5, and finally 3 and 4. Hopefully this helps. Good luck. This is creating a 6-sided die using Google SketchUp, then exporting it out to Airwolf 3D printers and seeing some magic happen.